Everybody, welcome back to my channel. Wanted to do a quick video. Actually, it wanted to be a quick video, but this is the third time I'm recording it because for some reason I didn't have my mic on. Then when I did, it must have been in like pairing mode or something because the second time I tried doing it, it wouldn't work. Anyway, hopefully third time's a charm. But anyway, it's been a busy weekend. Just wanted to make a quick video on some of the things that have happened this weekend. I went up to Mopars in the Park, which that's always a good time. What I want to start with is that what I wanted to start with is that I've been kind of chasing this. I've been kind of chasing this unicorn. At least that's what I thought, anyway. And this started over a year ago. I heard about a guy that had a Dana 60 out of a B body, but I could never get the guy's name. Everybody, oh, I don't know, he ain't gonna sell it. So I was over at a shop or kind of a local Mopar place, and we there was three of us in this office, four of us. I'm sorry, four of us in this office. And we're just kind of BSing. And I said, I've been looking for this. I said, I needed this Dana 60 for this Coronet. And oh yeah, well, there's one in this town here. I said, well, I've heard about this thing, but I can never seem to figure it out, where this is. And, well, it's this is who owns it. They told me. I finally got a name, and but he ain't gonna sell it. And the other guy there, he says, well, I know him pretty well. He'd probably sell it. And I said, well, how do I find this guy? Well, he lives just here. You told me right where his house was. I says, well, I'm half tempted to go there. And they said, well, he's a nice guy. I said, all right. And I got up and I took off. I drove straight to this guy's house. I knock on the door. He answers it. And I said, hey, are you so and so? And he says, yeah. And I says, well, I told him who I was. And I says, uh, I heard that you have a Dana 60 out of a B body. And he goes, well, yeah, I actually do. I said, okay, well, he goes, I don't think there's any drum brakes left on it. He said, I got it. It was out of a drag car. I'm like, okay. Now, this guy's not a Mopar guy at all. He's a car guy. He did own a 68 Super B, which we talked a while about that. I talked to this guy for probably 2 hours. Saw all kinds of pictures of his car. He's had some cool cars. I actually knew the guy. Once I saw him, I'm like, I know who this guy is. He worked at a local welding shop we used to do business with. I knew him. Guess I didn't really know his name. I knew his face. And he knew me, and he knew my dad. Like I said, we did a lot of business back in our body shop days when Dad had his body shop. We did a lot of business with him. Well, with the company that he worked for, we did. I wouldn't say a lot, but we did business with him. And I've seen him around, car shows and whatnot. So anyway, I says to him, I says, well, I'd really like to look this thing. He goes, well, I got to dig it out. He says, it's been a while. He says, it's going to take me a few days to dig it out. This was Tuesday. I said, okay, well, that's fine. I said, I said, I'm in no big hurry. Give me a call when you have it dug out. He says, okay, well, I'm probably going to work on it tomorrow. I said, that's fine. So Wednesday came and gone. Thursday, towards the end of the day, he calls me up and he says, well, I got this thing dug out. He says, it's actually really complete. It's got the drums on it. He goes, I didn't think it did. He said, there's supposed to be some numbers on it. Well, the only numbers I can find, he give me these numbers. And I jotted them down. Actually, I think I had him text them to me. It doesn't matter. But anyway, so he gives me this casting number, and I'm like, well, that should probably tell me something, you know. So I look up the casting numbers, and it comes back as a Dana 44 or Dana 40, Dana 44, whatever. I'm thinking, man, this isn't even right. Well, anyway, I said, well, I'd like to come look at it. He says, well, I'm going to be busy tomorrow, he said, but I'll be around Saturday. I said, all right, well, I'm going to go to Mopars in the Park, so I'll go tomorrow. I'll go on Friday. So that's what I did. I went up to Mopars on the Park, or Mopars in the Park, and I picked up some stuff up there, and I'll get into that here in a minute. But Saturday he was going to be around, so today I went up there, and the first thing I noticed when I walked in there, now this rear end had a place for the pinion snubber to bolt on, which most of your pickups and stuff like that that would have a Dana 60 do not have that. So that was the number one thing I noticed. And then I started to get excited because on my way there, I was told my wife, I'm like, I don't think this is what I think it is. And I even looked at a Dana 60 when I was up there at Mope. There was one of them up there, and a guy had we never even discussed price, but it was out of a B body. But I took the guy's name down just in case because I really didn't think that this was going to be a Dana 60. I really didn't. But this time I'm convinced that it's a Dana 44. But I wanted to take the chance to go look at it first. Here is the rear end. I'm sorry, it's getting kind of dark out. Right here is where the pinion snubber bolts up. Also, another telltale sign is that it's not a floater rear end. Most of your pickups are going to be a floater rear end. You can look at it and see that, oh, this thing definitely has been in a drag car because this is for a 4-link suspension, I believe. I'm not really sure what they were doing here, but you can see where this has been bolted in. I think that this was probably for ladder bars, but I'm not really sure. They're not straight up and down. You think they would be, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know much about them. This is the number that he was reading to me, or that he texted to me, and that's, I guess that really don't mean anything. I figured it would, but he said he couldn't find any more numbers on it. So we get it loaded in my pickup. I told him I'd take it because it ended up measuring out right, and it is a 410, and it is a posi rear end. The numbers on these things, I noticed it after we got it loaded in my pickup. They're going to be right here in this area here. I'm going to try to get this so you can see all this. I believe this one is the date. Not sure what this one could be the date, but this is the important one right here. And this number here, I know it's kind of hard to read. That's a 603 109 space 3. And if we look up that number, it actually comes back as a 1969 and a half to 1970 Dana 60 out of a B body 410 Sure Track, which is what the Dana 60 called Sure Grip, called it Sure Track. Right there, 410 gears. There's another tag down here. I'm not even sure what that tag is. I haven't even had a chance to read it. It's got 10-inch brakes, which I thought was kind of weird, but now I'm under the understanding that these had 10-inch brakes on them instead of 11-inch brakes. The 8 3/4 had 11-inch brakes. I don't know why Chrysler didn't put them on there, but they didn't. So basically, my thoughts on this rear end is that it's out of a 6-pack because it's 69 and a half to 1970 through 1970. But it is correct for a Scat Pack car. 410 4-speed car would be a Scat Pack car. So obviously, I'm pretty excited about this. This is the rear end. Like I said, I had that I had that other rear end I put in the car. I said I wanted a Dana 60 in this car. We agreed to a price, and he told me, I asked him where he got it. He told me that he got it from he was scrapping. He ended up getting it from when he was scrapping. Bought it with a bunch of other stuff. I thought that's a pretty cool story. Really nice guy. So now to Mopars in the Park. Let's start off with, I walk in there and I was not looking for torsion bars at all. Let's get this. I bought this sway bar too, but I'll explain that here in a minute. So the guy that I bought the RT from, he does swap meets. And I walk in there, I'm walking along and I see these torsion bars sitting there. Now, I know it's dark outside, so this is, and if you look at these torsion bars, this is a 780. And this one, you can see a little better, is a 781. I says to the guy, I says, hey, I says, where are these torsion bars out of? I didn't really even look at them. He said they're 440 or Hemi torsion bars out of a B body. Well, I think they're the same out of a B body or E body. And I says to him, and I noticed it was the guy that I bought the RT from. And I told him, I says, well, you know what I'm working on. I said, he goes, yeah, these are the correct ones for that car. So we made a deal on them. I thought that was kind of unique. Now, I don't know if these are out of the car. I doubt it, because who knows. But he did cut this style of torsion bars out of that car and sold them, or was going to sell them. I don't know. I guess they could be out of that car, but I don't know. This sway bar. These are the things that I've been missing. These torsion bars, sway bar. Now I got the correct lower control arms for a sway bar, but I did not have the sway bar. I found this, and it was 125 bucks. You can see that right there. I tried to talk the guy down, but the guy had an AM radio. Now, a while back, this RT originally an AM FM car. And someday I'll read this fender tag off this. If anybody wants me to do that, I'll read you the fender tag off this car. But I was talking to a guy doing some dealing, and he said, "Well, I got this um, AM/FM Mopar radio," and I said, "Is it a thumb wheel?" And he says, "Yeah, it's a thumb wheel." I'm like, "Oh well, I'd like to see it." Well, he thought it was out of a '69, but it wasn't. It was out of a '67 C body, so it kind of had this different faceplate on it. So to make a long story short, I ended up, well, yeah, I'll take that radio, and got that in on the deal. And so I was needing a faceplate. So I got this anti-sway bar and an AM radio from the same guy. He had an AM radio for 45 bucks, which is pretty cheap actually. Most people want 100 bucks for them, it seems like. And it was kind of in rough shape, but the faceplate was really good. So I took, and I had to do a little bit of filing here and there, but I got it to fit, and it looks good on there. So now I got an AM/FM radio for this car. Also, this is the dash out of that RT. You can see it has seen some better days. Now you got to remember, this car was totally stripped, sitting there, no windshield in it, no side windows. Take that back. It did have the windshield in it. It had the windshield in it. It was busted. So I believe the passenger side of the windshield was, there was part of it missing. Dad and I have been working and working and working on this uh, lower dash pad. And you say, well, how come didn't you just go buy another one? Well, you can't. They don't remake this. This is kind of hard to find because it's a non-rally, non-AC dash. And I did not realize how many of these Coronets had air conditioning, but a lot of them did. And the rally dash doesn't have this piece here, nor this piece here. It comes up here and comes up like this, and the rest of it is the rally dash bar. So it's kind of hard to find. Well, I found one of these up there, Mopars in the Park, and I'll probably fix this. I'll finish fixing this. But right now, this car is going to get that other dash pad. And that dashboard is pretty much done. It's got the 150 mile an hour speedometer, the correct one, the one that goes from 1 to 15, because they decided that uh, the one with the zeros on it, the 10 to 150, was a little cluttered, which I think it kind of is. They changed that mid-year 1968. My 68 RT has got the 10 through 150, and I will admit it is kind of, though it's cool, I think it's kind of cluttered. Um, I ended up with that dash pad from Mopars in the Park. Mopars in the Park is a really good show to go to. If you get a chance to go to it, I would highly recommend it. It's got a great swap meet, good car show. It's up there by the cities, just south of the cities. You don't have to go into St. Paul or Minneapolis, just south of that. Um, Farmington, I think it is. I can't remember. Scott, Dakota County, Dakota County Fairgrounds is what it is. But anyway, it's been kind of an expensive weekend, but yet I did end up with a lot of things that I've been missing. So that helps a lot. Torsion bars. What I wanted to tell you, this the 780 and the 781. So 781 would be your left side. Your left side is always an odd number. Your right side is an even number. So you have 780 for the left, 780 for the passenger side, the right side, and those are 440 and Hemi torsion bars. So it's got Hemi springs super stock Hemi springs in the back. It's going to have these torsion bars up front, which I was going to go with the 103s, but these are, I think, 0.91. These are the actual ones that are supposed to be in the car. So and then I've got the 410 gears, which is a little steep, but I'm going to put an overdrive, 833 overdrive. So it's basically, a lot of people call it a 4-speed overdrive. It's not. It's a 3-speed. Third gear is 1-to-1, and then your next gear I think is a 0.89. But I did the math on it, and it's going to come out to about a 290. I think it was actually 289, but right around 290 for final gear ratio with a 410 gear, which I think would be perfect. And I'm not going to be out racing this thing, but at the same time, uh, this will actually be pretty snappy, for, through first, and first is actually pretty low on but first, second, and third, it'll be pretty snappy. And then when you're going down the road, even if you're going to run this through the drag strip, you're never going to get to fourth gear in it anyway. You're going to get through the first three, and then you're going to be at the end of the line. But these were 14-second cars with the 410s. That's where the term scat pack was. They had to be a 14-second car. So in the 14, so basically under 15 seconds. That's where the term scat pack. But 440, 4-speed, Dana 60, 410 gear is a scat pack. 354 is a super track pack. And I'm thinking that it's a track pack car. Maybe it was a super track pack. I'd have to go back in and look at the fender tag to tell you. Also, I'm thinking about doing a walk around on the RT, the 68 RT, and kind of going over the fender tag on that. Let me know if you guys have any interest in that. I'll do a video on that. I think I've done a couple walkarounds on that, but it's been a while. And I've never gone through the fender tag. 68 is a little different than 69, a little harder to decode, but I'm pretty sure I got that one decoded correctly. But I've been thinking about doing a walk around on that. So let me know if you have any interest in that. Otherwise, I'm going to let you go. But yeah, I've got this weekend. I ended up with the right torsion bars, the right rear end, anti-sway bar, right dash pad, and faceplate. So it's a pretty good weekend, pretty expensive weekend, but you got to spend a little bit of money on them. Really, I don't have as much as most people would think in this car because I used 3 cars to make one. So, and I had a lot of parts. So I've been doing this for quite a while. I've been doing it for many, many years. So I had a lot of parts. I still do. Got the complete spindles and everything. If I wanted to make a drum brake car out of it, I got the correct 13-inch drum brakes for the front. I got two sets of them, but I put disc brakes on it. I kind of like, that's why I've got these, is because I put disc brakes on my other ones. But anyway, if there is any interest, I'm kind of getting off topic here. If there is any interest in doing a walk around and that kind of reading that, decoding that fender tag on that 68, I'll gladly do it. Just let me know, and I may do it anyway. But yeah, let me know if you're interested in that. And anyway, I'm gonna head in. It's been a long weekend. A lot done on this car. This car is coming together quickly all of a sudden. The engine's over at the machine shop. I got to figure out what heads I'm going to run so we can get pistons for it. I want to keep the compression right around 9.5, right around there. I don't want it to be too much. 10 would be fine, but then you're looking at premium gas all the time. I don't want to have to run Cam 2 or Ave gas, which I have to do in the Super B. But then the Super B, that's 11 and a half, I think, to 1. But anyway, I think I'm going to get off here. I'm all dirty. Been working pretty hard on that. I'll be doing some more videos on this here, but it is really coming together. So like I said, hopefully within a month we're painting this car. That's how quickly this is coming together. But that being said, I hope everybody's having a good weekend and great day. If you get a chance, get up there to that Mopars in the Park. It's a good time if you're like Mopars, or if you're looking for parts or whatever. But it's a good time up there. So I'm gonna get off here. I think I'm gonna go into the house and get out of the shop for a while and come back out here and do it some more tomorrow. But anyway, everybody have a great day, and hope you enjoyed my video. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment. Being said, we'll catch you next time.